Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great time as usual. Here I am back again with a new video in which I'm going to be talking about something completely different from what I've been doing in the past few weeks. So first of all, let me introduce myself as I always do. My name is Christina and I created this channel, Christ English, because I want to help you. I want to help become the best of you by sharing with you my experience since I moved to England, my experience into learning English and other languages, and my personal, professional and physical change that happened in the past 2 years. And for that reason, this year, I hope it's going to be the best year of your life. First of all, what I am going to talk about today is about my journey into fluency in English. How did I become fluent in English? No, it's going to be my 2 most embarrassing moments that I have lived when I moved to England. Some pronunciation mistakes and misunderstandings that happened in the past 6 years that I've been living in England. There have been a lot of them, but I'm just going to mention the 2 most funny ones. As you already know, I moved to England about 6 years ago, and during that time I've been practicing my English, I've been studying as well. I'd like to thank many of you who have made really good compliments about my pronunciation, even from native speakers, which is making me really happy. But I've got to say that my English isn't perfect, and I don't aim for perfection either. I know that I still make mistakes, and probably that's going to take me ages to improve, but I do make mistakes as well in my native language, so that doesn't really bother me. One of the things I want to mention just before I start is that feeling that most of us have when we're trying to learn English. It's like we don't want to sound that we're coming from this country or that country. Let me tell you, it's okay, it's fine. Just be proud of who you are, where you're coming from, and having an accent is actually beautiful. Everyone's got an accent. Native speakers got an accent. Even people from America have a very different accent from people from the United Kingdom. Don't be discouraged if you have a very strong Spanish accent. As soon as you are able to communicate and people understand what you're saying, it's completely fine. So don't you worry about that. And yes, it might sound a little bit hypocrite from someone who apparently I've been told I have a very posh English accent. I didn't force this. This is the accent I've got. This is the accent I've learned. I still make mistakes, as you can see in my previous videos, and pronunciation mistakes, prepositions. There are loads of things that I still need to improve. But I know that I've been working towards my pronunciation skills, and I've become very fluent. And by doing these videos, I've become even more confident when I'm speaking in English. I just want to say as well, the perfect English pronunciation doesn't really exist, just because there are people from all over the world. Native speakers have different accents, so there is no perfect accent. Like the BBC English, I'll consider the most posh accent, but they're not the best. Every single accent is beautiful, and it's pretty much the same way I think about any other language. Like, for example, my language, Spanish language, I believe it's just beautiful. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. If you're from Spain, if you're from Argentina, or if you're from Colombia, you're still going to have a beautiful accent, and I believe that is the most important thing at the end of the day, that we are able to communicate, to learn from each other, and to open our minds and to be able to enjoy different cultures. This is just my personal opinion about learning languages. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 2 of my most embarrassing mistakes I've ever done since I arrived in England. Number 1, so the first one, I had been in England for about 2 weeks, so I was pretty new. My English wasn't really fluent. I was very conscious when speaking in public, especially when speaking with native speakers. I was very shy, even if you don't believe it. So what happened? It's very simple. I don't know if you understand the differences between different vowel sounds in English, but English has very different sounds and Spanish is just very straightforward. A is a and that's it. But in English, things that change it. But in English, it's completely different. So I made a mistake between the different a and Apparently, at the time, I couldn't realize and I couldn't actually think, but what's the difference? So I was talking to this lady. She was my host mother. I was working as an au pair at the time. And I was looking for like an extra job because I wanted to get extra money so I could have more stuff and I could go to an academy and improve my English. So I thought it was a fraud. I was talking to her and with the children around, and I said, well, this is scum. And obviously she got like, what did you say? And I'm like, yeah, this is a scum. And she said, no. I said, yeah, this is a scum. And I just repeated it like 3 or 4 times. And then obviously at some point I said, yes, a fraud. And she said, oh, a scam. And I'm like, what did you just say? I just said exactly the same. So no, it's a big difference between both of them. Then obviously, silly and stupid me, I didn't know what scum meant. And I looked it up and I said, oh, apparently it's a really bad word to use in front of children. Sorry, me learning English. So I was very, very embarrassed after that. It's not the worst one, it's not the worst experience I've lived, but it was quite like, it wasn't the time because there were children around and I felt really bad. Actually, there are not going to be 2 of them, it's going to be 3 of them. The second one, I've been kind of thinking, should I say that, should I keep it to myself? But I think it's just part of the learning process and I believe it's quite funny and I should share it with you. So after a year, I started to work in McDonald's and as I was working in the kitchen, there was loads of things going on in the kitchen, so I was constantly doing food. And at the time, my English wasn't the best and I wasn't very, and I wasn't aware of certain slangs and certain idioms that people use on a daily basis. So I was just like listen to it and I said, who cares? I don't know what it means. It was a very busy shift, and we were just a non-stop putting up burgers and stuff. I was always asking the guy who was putting it out on the display, what did he need afterwards? So obviously, I said, what do you need? And this guy, who is a funny guy, who likes to take a lot of jokes, and at the time I didn't know him that much, he said, I need a BJ. And I didn't know what it meant at the time, and I said, okay, that's fine, I'll give it to you. And obviously, silence in the kitchen, and everyone started to laugh. I was like, what? I mean, what is that? What did I say? I don't know. I mean, what happened? And no one wanted to tell me. So I went on break and I took my phone and I Googled BJ, what does it mean? And it came out straight away, blowjob. And I was like, I know. But a native speaker is going to be a funny one because obviously it's an acronym used for I don't think I have to explain what a BJ means. Yeah, I was I was so innocent back then and I didn't know that meant that. And I didn't actually know the meaning of that. So I felt so embarrassed, so red. So after I came back from my break, they were like, oh, so now you know, have you Googled it? And I'm like, just shut up, I can't. I was so embarrassed. There's been a few of them at work and I believe that was one of the most funny and embarrassing ones, but I thought it was really nice to share with you because even myself, you think that I really have a good English, that I have a good English. Definitely, I hadn't at the time because I didn't know what that meant. And the last one happened when I was pretty much at the same time. So my English at the time wasn't the best. I think I improved my English after I left. I think I improved my English after I started my relationship with my ex-boyfriend. Before that, I would be very conscious, but I still managed to have a conversation with people. So there was a time where I was dating someone, and that person was a native speaker. So we were having a conversation, we were just sending messages and stuff, and he said to me, oh, let me know when you get home so we can have a chat. And I said, oh, okay, that's fine, I'll let you know. So I was on my way home. When I got home, I messaged him, and I just went straight to the shower, had a shower, just got ready, blah, blah, blah. I messaged him, I just came. Yes, I did that. I went back to my room, checked my phone, and there were like tons of messages of funny faces and love. If you're not familiar with that meaning, it literally means you just had an orgasm. And that's what I said. So obviously it was a funny one. We were dating at the time, and he kind of took it as a joke. And when I was reading it, I said, no, I just meant I just got home. Why are you having such a dirty mind? Why do you guys have such a dirty mind? But obviously, if we say something similar in Spanish, we're always going to take the joke as well. He definitely knew I wasn't a native speaker, and that obviously that I didn't mean it in that way. But so what's the point of this? I just wanted to share that with you. So I've been here for 6 years, and I know that I still make mistakes. I know that I still have to learn English, and I know that many of you feel frustrated because they can't have a fluent conversation. The sooner you realize your English doesn't need to be perfect, the easier it becomes to become fluent and to become confident when speaking in public. And yeah, obviously sharing with you these mistakes that I've done is part of the process. It's part of my journey to fluency, and it's part of something that what at the time could have been really embarrassing, and some people would have taken it the wrong way. I thought it was funny, at the same time embarrassing, but after a few years I realized that if I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't be sharing them with you, and everyone would think, oh, you just learned English perfectly. And I said, no, I didn't. Look back. I have to look back, and I have to tell you all the mistakes that I've done during these years, because I am not perfect, and I know that I won't be perfect, but I still want to share that with you so you lose your fear when learning a foreign language. Well, I believe that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up. It really helps me a lot. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click on the subscription button. If you'd like to hear notifications when I upload a new video, click on the bell button so you'll be notified when a new video is up. And you can find me on my social media. I'm on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you very soon. Bye!